everyone, and welcome back to the Wisdom by Harry YouTube channel. My name is Harry.
And I'm Mary. We're so excited to have you here today for another fascinating episode.
Today, we're diving into the world of entrepreneurs.
Ooh, entrepreneurship, yeah.
You know how you love playing with toys?
Yeah.
Well, someone had to invent them first.
Right.
That's what entrepreneurs do. They think of new ideas and make them real.
It's kind of like building a giant Lego castle.
Ooh, Legos. I like Legos.
First, you have an idea in your head.
Okay.
Then you start putting the Legos together piece by piece to make your castle.
Like step-by-step instructions.
Exactly. Entrepreneurs are like those Lego builders.
Ah, cool.
But instead of Legos, they use their creativity and hard work to build businesses.
So if I had a cool idea for a toy,
Okay.
like a robot that can do my homework,
Wow.
I could become an entrepreneur by making it a real product.
You definitely could. But before you start building your robot,
Okay.
it's important to think about whether other kids would want a homework doing robot too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's called seeing an opportunity.
So is that like the first step?
Yeah, it's one of them.
Okay.
Entrepreneurs look for problems that need solutions.
So problems like
Exactly.
things that people would love to have.
Right, so it's like being a detective,
Cool.
looking for clues to see if your idea is really a good one.
And what if my idea isn't a good one?
Well, that's part of it.
Okay.
You gotta try.
Uh-huh.
And it's not just about having a cool idea.
Right.
You also need to be brave and willing to take risks.
Risks. Like what kind of risks?
Well, imagine opening a lemonade stand.
Okay.
You're taking a risk because you don't know for sure if people will buy your lemonade.
Yeah, that's true.
Entrepreneurs are like those lemonade stand owners.
So they're like brave little kids selling lemonade.
Exactly. They're not afraid to try new things, even if it's a little scary.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like trying a new food for the first time.
Ooh, good one.
You might not like it, but you won't know until you try it.
Exactly. And just like with food, sometimes you need to try different things before you find something you really love. It's so true.
Entrepreneurs need to be adaptable,
Adaptable. What's that?
meaning they can change their plans if something isn't working.
So if no one's buying my lemonade.
Yeah, maybe your lemonade isn't selling well.
Okay.
A good entrepreneur would try adding some sugar
More sugar. Yeah.
or making it colder to see if people like it better.
So being an entrepreneur is like a mix of being creative,
Uh-huh.
brave,
Yes,
and knowing when to change things up.
you got it. Now let's talk about something super important.
Okay.
The difference between being creative and being innovative.
I always get those mixed up.
They sound similar, but there's a key difference.
Okay.
Imagine you're drawing a picture of a flying car.
A flying car. Cool.
That's being creative, coming up with a new idea.
I like drawing.
But building a real flying car that actually works,
Wow.
that's innovation.
So creativity is like the drawing and innovation is like building the actual car.
You're a fast learner.
And speaking of building things, let's talk about the different types of businesses that entrepreneurs create.
Oops.
Some entrepreneurs start small,
Small, like
opening a bakery in their neighborhood or selling handmade jewelry online.
jewelry.
Others dream big and create companies that use the latest technology, like building robots or designing video games.
Wow, that's a lot of possibilities.
Yeah,
It's like choosing your own adventure.
it is.
But how do entrepreneurs know which idea to choose?
That's a good question.
It's like standing in a toy store with too many options,
Right. That's where paying attention to the world around us comes in.
looking around.
The world is constantly changing.
Uh-huh.
The way we live, the things we like, even the technology we use.
Yeah, that's true.
Smart entrepreneurs watch these changes closely
Oh, they're like spies.
because they can spark new ideas. Think about how computers used to be giant machines.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of those.
That took up whole rooms.
Crazy.
Now we have tiny smartphones that can do even more. That change led to a whole bunch of new businesses like app developers and online stores.
So, like my mom's phone. It
Yeah.
came from a big change.
It did. You see, entrepreneurs are like explorers,
Ooh, explorers, fun.
looking for new opportunities in a changing world.
And some of them are looking for gold.
Or maybe not gold, but definitely for opportunities.
Okay.
Now, before we go further,
Okay.
let's talk about a common myth about entrepreneurs.
Myths, like stories.
Kind of, but these are stories that people believe that aren't actually true.
All right.
Some people think entrepreneurs work all alone.
All by themselves.
Yeah, but that's not true at all.
Hell,
It's much more like a team sport.
teamwork.
Yeah. Building a successful business often requires working with others
Okay.
who share your vision and bring different skills to the table.
Like sharing your Legos.
Exactly. It's like playing with Legos with your friends. Everyone contributes to building something amazing.
I like playing Legos with my friends.
Me too. It's more fun that way. And sometimes you can even be an entrepreneur inside a big company.
Really?
It's like being a mini entrepreneur,
What?
but with the support of a big team.
Oh, I get it.
Imagine you work for a company that makes toys.
Okay, a toy company.
You notice that all the toys are made of plastic.
Oh no, not good for the planet.
Right. You have an awesome idea to start making toys out of recycled materials.
That's a great idea.
That's what we call corporate entrepreneurship or intrapreneurship.
Those are big words.
They are, but the idea is pretty simple.
Okay.
It's about using your creative thinking to help a company grow and change from the inside.
So like being a secret agent of good ideas.
Exactly.
Cool. So let's say I have this amazing idea,
Okay.
and I've done my detective work to make sure it's a good one.
All right.
What's the next step? How do I actually start building my business?
That's where planning comes in.
Planning, like making a list.
More than just a list.
Okay.
Before you start putting those Lego blocks together, you need a plan or roadmap to guide you.
So we need a map to build with Legos.
Kind of. This plan is called a feasibility plan,
Feasibility plan.
and it helps you figure out if your idea can really work in the real world.
The real world.
It's like making a list of all the ingredients you need to bake a cake.
I like cake.
You need to make sure you have everything before you start mixing.
Right, or the cake won't turn out right.
Exactly.
Okay, so a feasibility plan is like checking your recipe before you start baking.
Yep.
But what comes after that?
Well, that's when you create a business plan.
Another plan.
It's a more detailed plan
Okay.
that outlines everything about your business.
Wow, everything.
It's like a blueprint that shows you how to build your business step by step.
Step by step, like those instructions.
Exactly.
No,
It covers everything from describing your product or service to figuring out who your customers will be and how you'll reach them.
So it's like a feasibility plan, but way more detailed.
That's a great way to put it. So a feasibility plan is like a quick sketch, and a business plan is like the detailed blueprint for building your entire business.
I'm starting to get it.
Awesome. Now imagine you've invented something truly unique,
Like what?
like a self-folding laundry basket.
Wow, that would be awesome. No more folding.
Right. How do you make sure no one else copies your amazing idea?
That's a good question. I wouldn't want someone else to take credit for my brilliant invention.
That's where patents come in.
Patents, like a patent leather shoe.
Not quite, but it is a way to protect your invention.
Okay.
The patent is like a special paper from the government
Oh, the government.
that says you're the only one who can make or sell your invention for a certain amount of time.
So it's like a superpower for my invention.
It's like a superhero cape for your ideas.
Wow, that sounds like a powerful tool for entrepreneurs.
It is.
So if I invented a flying scooter,
Okay.
a patent would make sure no one else could copy my design and sell it as their own.
Exactly. It's like having a shield to protect your creativity and hard work.
My creativity needs a shield for sure.
There are different types of patents.
Different types.
Yeah, depending on what you're protecting.
Like what?
For example, there are utility patents that
Utility.
protect how things work,
Okay.
design patents for how
Okay.
things look,
Got it.
and even plant patents for new types of plants.
Plant patents. Wow. That's cool.
It's like a whole system for protecting amazing ideas.
Amazing.
So are you ready to learn more about this exciting world?
I am. This is so cool.
Great. Welcome back, everyone.
It's great to be back.
You know, last time we were talking about entrepreneurship.
Right. And how they're like those detectives.
Uh-huh. Always on the lookout for those new ideas.
Yeah, the ones that solve problems.
Exactly.
Or make things better.
And we talked about how the world's always changing.
Right. And all those changes, they create chances for entrepreneurs to come up with new stuff.
And innovative ideas. Yeah.
Like with video games, you know?
Oh, yeah.
How they went from those little blocky games to those crazy 3D worlds you can get lost in. That opened up so many possibilities, right?
Yeah.
For the people making the games.
Absolutely. It's amazing to see how one little change can lead to so much new stuff.
Yeah.
So let's say you have this super cool idea for a new toy,
Okay.
like a robot that can help you with your chores.
Ooh, a chore robot.
How do you go from that idea in your head
Yep.
to an actual toy kids can play with?
That's a good question. It's like, I've got all the pieces for a Lego spaceship, But I don't know where to start.
Well, that's where the planning part comes in.
Planning.
It's kind of like a step-by-step guide
Okay.
to take you from that idea to a real business.
So it's like baking a cake.
Yeah, like a recipe.
You wouldn't just chuck all the ingredients in a bowl without a recipe, would you?
No way.
My cake would be a disaster.
Totally.
So planning is like our recipe for starting a business.
Exactly. It all starts with an idea, like that chore robot.
Right.
But hold on, before you start building,
Okay.
you gotta ask yourself a few things. Like, is there actually a need for this robot? Do kids even want it?
Yeah, good point.
And how much will it cost to make?
I didn't think of that.
That's what we call a feasibility study.
Feasibility.
It basically helps you figure out if your idea can really work in the real world.
Oh, okay. So it's like checking if you have all the stuff you need to bake the cake.
Exactly. And once you know your idea has potential,
Then what?
then it's time for the business plan.
Another plan.
Yeah, but this one's more detailed.
Okay.
It covers everything.
Wow. Everything.
How you're gonna make your robot, how much it'll cost,
Okay.
how you're gonna tell people about it.
And how much I'm going to sell it for?
Yep, it's like the instruction manual for your robot business.
Cool.
And as you go through this planning process, your business goes through different stages.
Stages, like in a video game.
Yeah, kind of. Think of it like a plant,
Okay.
going from a tiny seed to a big, strong tree.
Oh, I get it. First, there's the pre-startup stage.
Pre-startup, what's
Okay.
that? That's where you're nurturing your little idea, doing your research.
This is like planting the seed and watering it.
Yes. Then comes the startup stage, where your idea starts to grow.
Like when the little plant pops out of the ground.
Exactly. This is when you launch your business, start selling your stuff.
That's exciting.
And if things go on, your business will enter the growth stage.
Growth, like it's getting bigger.
Right. And your little plant becomes a big, strong tree.
Awesome.
You might even reach the later growth stages where your business is super established.
Wow, so it's like a whole life cycle for a business.
It is. But even with the best plan, things can still go wrong, you know?
Oh yeah, like what?
Well, sometimes stuff happens that's outside of your control.
Like a storm that knocks the tree over?
Yeah, like a big change in the economy or a new competitor popping up.
Oh no.
Those are called external factors.
External factors.
But you also got to manage things inside your control, like making sure your tree gets enough water.
So like making sure your business has a good team.
Exactly. And managing your money well.
Right. You don't want to run out.
And always learning and adapting.
Adapting, like changing if things aren't working.
You got it. And just like a tree needs a strong trunk, successful business needs a good leader and a great team.
It's like having friends to help you build that Lego spaceship.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
A good team can help you solve problems, celebrate wins.
And eat cake.
Maybe. It's like having a crew of astronauts
Ooh, astronaut.
working together on a mission.
So cool. Speaking of spaceships, remember how we talked about technology changing all the time?
Yeah.
It's so crazy how we went from those giant computers to phones that fit in our pockets.
It's amazing, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
And all those changes create new opportunities, like you said.
They do. Think about the internet. It started as a way for scientists to talk to each other.
Really?
And now it connects everyone.
It's like magic.
It really is. And it's created so many new businesses.
Yeah.
And it's not just about inventing new stuff. Sometimes it's about making things better or cheaper.
Like with cars.
Yeah. They've changed a lot since they were first invented.
For sure. It's awesome to see how people keep coming up with new ideas.
It is. And one of the most exciting areas is product development.
Product development, what's that?
It's how we go from an idea in our head to a real product.
Oh, so it's like taking our chore robot idea
Uh-huh.
and actually turning it into a real robot.
Exactly. And there are a few stages in that process.
Like levels in a video game?
Kind of. It starts with idea generation,
Idea generation.
where you brainstorm all sorts of cool concepts.
So like a big idea party.
Yes. You can let your imagination run wild.
Awesome.
Then comes the screening stage.
Screening.
That's where you look at each idea and see if it's actually possible.
Oh, so you got to be realistic.
Right. You got to ask yourself, can we actually build this? Is it safe?
Yeah, those are important questions.
If your idea passes the screening, it's on to incubation.
Incubation, like a baby chick.
Kind of. It's where you really start developing the idea.
Okay.
Making blueprints, building prototypes.
Oh, so it's like bringing the idea to life.
Yes. And then there's implementation.
Implementation, that's a big word.
It's where you get ready to actually make your product.
So like setting up the factory.
Exactly. And marketing.
Marketing, like commercials.
Yep. You got to get people excited about your product.
And then you launch it.
Yes. And after you launch, there's market testing.
Market testing.
It's where you see what people actually think of your product.
Oh, so you get feedback.
Exactly. And finally, you reach diffusion.
Diffusion.
That's when your product is everywhere.
Wow, that's the goal, right?
It is. It's like watching your little robot idea become a huge success.
That's so cool.
And remember, just like we need a team to support us,
Yeah.
we also need to protect our ideas.
Oh, right. Patents. You mentioned those before.
Yes, a patent is like a special agreement with the government.
An agreement.
It makes sure no one can steal your idea.
Like a superpower for inventions.
Exactly. Let's say you invented a laundry basket that folds itself.
Wait, that's a real thing.
Well, maybe not yet, but imagine if you did.
That would be amazing.
You'd want to get a patent for that.
So no one else could copy it.
Right. It's like putting a lock on your invention.
A lock.
So to get a patent, you first got to make sure your invention is unique.
So like making sure no one else has already made a self-folding laundry basket.
Exactly. You can search online for existing patents.
Oh, cool. Like being an inventor detective.
Then you got to prepare a patent application.
What's that?
It's a super detailed description of your invention.
So like instructions on how to build it.
Yep, with drawings and diagrams.
It's like a top secret blueprint.
Then you send your application to the patent office.
The patent office.
They're the ones who decide if you get a patent.
Oh, wow. So it's like a big decision.
It is. They review everything carefully.
I'd be so nervous waiting for their answer.
And if everything is good, they grant you a patent.
So then you're officially protected.
Exactly. And that's the end of part 2 of our deep dive.
Wow, that was a lot of information, but so cool.
It was.
Welcome back to our final deep dive into the exciting world of entrepreneurs.
It's been quite a journey, right?
It has. We've learned so much.
From those first sparks of an idea to building a whole business.
We even learned about patents.
Yeah, those are important.
They're like that shield that protects your inventions.
Exactly, especially when it comes to keeping your hard work safe.
So let's say I invented something really cool,
Okay, like what?
like shoes that change size as your feet grow.
Wow, that would be awesome. No more buying new shoes all the time.
Right. How do I get a patent for that?
Well, think of it like building with Legos.
Okay, I have Legos.
You built this awesome thing,
Yeah.
but you don't want anyone copying it, right?
That's not fair.
So first, you got to make sure no one else has already done it.
So it's like checking if someone else built the same Lego thing.
Exactly. You have to do some detective work.
Ooh, detective work.
Make sure your idea is really unique.
How do I do that?
Luckily, there are some really cool websites
Really?
like Google Patents
Okay.
and the USPTO website.
What's USPTO?
It stands for the United States Patent and Trademark Office.
Oh, okay.
You can use these websites to search for other patents.
So I can see if anyone already invented my idea.
Exactly. They're like giant libraries of inventions.
That's so cool. So much information.
It is. And once you're sure your invention is one of a kind,
Then what?
then you get to prepare your patent application.
Ooh, what's that? Sounds important.
It's a document that describes your invention.
Like a secret code.
Kind of, but it needs to be clear enough for anyone to understand, even if they've never seen your invention before.
Oh, I get it. It's like writing the instructions for my invention.
Yes. Think of it like a recipe, but for your invention.
With steps and pictures.
Exactly. You need to be really specific.
So no one can say they didn't understand how it works.
Right. You want to make sure you cover everything.
Everything.
And you need to pick the right type of patent, too.
Oh, right. You said there were different types
Like utility patents,
for how things work.
design patents for how things look.
And plant patents for new plants.
You got it. It's about finding the best way to protect your idea.
Wow. So much to think about.
There is, but it's worth it.
So once I have my super detailed application,
Then you send it off to the patent office.
they're like the judges of inventions.
Kind of. They review everything to make sure it's all good.
And if they like it,
If everything checks out, they give you a patent.
that's like getting a gold medal for your invention.
It is a big deal. It means you have the exclusive right to your invention.
Wow. So no one else can make or sell it without my permission.
Exactly. It gives you the power to bring your idea to the world.
This has been such an amazing deep dive. I've learned so much.
Me too. We've covered everything from brainstorming to patents.
We talked about how important planning is and how teamwork makes everything better.
And we saw how technology is changing the world.
And most importantly, we learned that anyone can be an entrepreneur
You just need that spark of creativity.
and the courage to follow your dream.
Exactly. So if you have a great idea, don't be afraid to chase it.
Who knows, maybe you'll be the next big
The
entrepreneur.
world needs your ideas.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.
Bye, everyone.